the guys main ran after me and was like, I really like your style, like I really like your flow, like I'd like to manage you and like help you out and like help you write songs and stuff. And then that was like a whole another chapter. But that was like my first like singing in front of people and getting it.
So from that open mic is kind of how it started off?
Yeah. Then I was in like a little, like, so he started managing me. I would get on the train and go to Flatbush all the time to all the underground studios. I would sit with all of them. It was like 7 or 8 rappers in a room to a beat. And then they were like, if you want to get on these songs, you have to write. And then one of my friends at the time, Preem, was like, you gotta write, Jennie B, you gotta write. I was like, I'm not writing, I'm a performer. You write for me, just pretend I write. Like, who cares, you know? I'll even, like, who cares? I'll just, you know, get on stage with y'all and be the female thing and, you know. And he was like, nah, it doesn't work like that here. Like, you gotta write your stuff to get on the song. And I would just beg him to write for me. And he would for a minute. And then we were all in the studio one day and this beat kept looping over. And at this point, I'd seen them all write and I'd seen how they do it. And I had my phone and I just started like writing these lyrics. And a lot of them had like fallen asleep. And I asked Johnny, he was doing like the engineer, and it was just like this makeshift little studio. I was like, can I get up? And
can I jump on that?
Can I jump on that? He was like, you? I was like, yeah, me. He was like, okay. So I got up and did it, and then I think it was called To Live to Die, and I did a whole thing, and it wasn't hard. It was super easy, and I didn't even know I could write like that. And then I remember a few hours later, he had engineered it and put it in with the song with everyone else's verses. And Preem was like, you wrote that by yourself? Because I would beg him to write everything for me. And I was like, yeah. And then from there, that was it. I was actually enjoyed writing more than anything then. More than dancing, more than singing. The writing process was so fun and creative for me. It was like a new passion then at that point, you know?
Yeah.
And then that's how I started songwriting. Yeah.
Cool. Dope. That's dope.
Yeah, and then I would go around like performing with them.
Yeah.
You know, like around like all these different venues, and we would hop on stage. It was probably the most fun time ever because you feel like you're a part of something. You know, you're in a group. It's harder doing it by yourself.
Definitely. And I was at the beginning as well, so you're probably just like super excited and
it's all new. Dreams had already happened. Yeah. You know, like
sometimes it's as good as it happened when you just have that vibration, because it's not about the end goal, you know, like what you can achieve. It's like really is the journey, and like it's hard to find that, you know, sometimes like that vibration where like everyone's just kind of like working together and creating together, like they're kind of magical.
Yeah, I thought I'd made it.
Yeah.
that was it for me. I was like, I think it's because it's the accomplishment of conquering your own fears.
Yeah,
is the biggest thing.
So huge.
I think that's what everyone's aiming for, whether that's like a Billboard #1 or just to be on a radio or just to perform in your local neighborhood. It's whatever that success is for you. And for me at the time, there was nothing that could get better than that, because coming from a small village in Ireland, none of my family really did music, and I mean my cousins played the fiddle and the accordion and stuff, like Irish music, but even just being in a studio with headphones on and singing into a mic was like, I could just die happy. I did that because I never thought I'd actually do it, even though it was always my dream. And then that's why, America, I think, is kind of like the land of dreams and opportunity. It was for me, because and to be doing it in such an authentic manner with like all these underground rappers. And I'd always loved Fergie from the Black Eyed Peas and her setup. I loved her. And like Lauryn Hill, and they were always my favorites. And just I felt like, okay, like, congratulations, Jen, like you're great at that point. Of course, then you always want more and more and more. You want to conquer more fears and do better and better and better. And I definitely listened back to some of actually the other day when I was driving in the car, some of my first songs I wrote, and they're absolute trash. So. It was not even on beat. But back then I was like, oh my God, this is great.
Yeah. It's cool to look back at your first stuff though and see how far you came.
When I look back at like my music, I almost look back at like, oh, like look how cute Jen was, kind of like so innocent. I had nothing like crazy happen to me at that point. Like it was just very. I feel like I was just so innocent and like, just.
So what crazy stuff did happen then?
I don't even know where to start. I always ended up. I mean, I'm not going to go into detail on all the things, but I always ended up. It did start to grow, and I did like start to get little name for myself, I would say, in the bars I was working at and in Manhattan. So after dance school, after that ended, I actually went back to Ireland. I was able to get my passport through. My mother was born in Brooklyn, so I was actually able to get an American passport, so I could stay in America, which was huge for me because I was scared I was going to have to go home. And then I mean, obviously I didn't live in Flatbush anymore with the rappers. That ended, and I was kind of back on my own again. And I would just meet like various producers on the way that were very excited about me and would want to work with me. And I mean, there's so many things. I mean, one producer, I worked with him for a long time, and then he had all my hard drive, and I paid him like, at the beginning it was like we were both doing each other a favor, and then as it got more, like I pay him money for an EP, and I paid him money, and I worked so hard. Obviously, we were living on pittance back then, and I worked so hard to make the money, and then we had recorded some songs, and he just ran off, like disappeared with the hard drive with all my songs and all my stems of everything, because at that point I just had everything on one hard drive, and he stole it and ran off with that and all the money, and that was devastating for me, you know, like literally devastating. And I was at rock bottom. I had to go home for a while to Ireland because I had no money, no music. I mean, that was devastating, actually. Yeah, so that was a huge thing. Yeah,
it's freaking hard. I mean, music industry is one of the hardest industries out there.
Yeah,
so.
It stopped being as fun as it was at the beginning.
Yeah.
And also when I was by myself, it was it's still gratifying, but it felt easier when there was a group with the guys around me. But I was still so passionate. I was never going to give up. Just never, you know. And I think the first time it really started being fun again was actually really fun was when, I mean, that song, I did a song Swag. That was fun because a lot of people like that. But I think when I moved back to LA eventually,
Swag,
and started doing videos with you and the girls. How does it feel to be back in LA though?
It feels good. Honestly, just being in the sun.
Yeah.
I never thought I would. I kind of ended up back in Ireland, as you know.
Yeah.
And I never thought I would.
Yeah.
Like ever.
Yeah, I know.
And I mean, it taught me a lot. It's been very, very interesting.
Yeah.
But I've been literally skipping winters for like the last like freaking 15 years of my life. Like I don't even do winter in LA.
I know.
After a while, I even got tired of doing winter in LA.
Yeah. Which is nuts.
Yeah.
Because you're from Ireland, so winter in LA is like summer in Ireland. Actually, we don't even get.
We're both just complete sun girls.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so it's so crazy that we were born in Ireland.
I know.
But anyway,
yeah,
I am really happy to be here. It's nice to just, be back in my old hood for a while, I guess, you know?
Yeah.
And with you, of course.
Yeah.
I feel like we just thrive in each other's energy.
For sure. When you came back, were you like, I miss LA? Or were you like, this is cool, but like, I'll probably go back to Bali, or like...
I don't know, I did miss it. I feel like I went out and in so many times that it's not completely this new feeling coming back, you know?
Yeah.
But I did miss it, and I feel like I take so much from all the cultures now, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I'm a little, it's so funny because I'm the same person, obviously, but I feel like I'm a little bit of a different person in each place.
Yeah.
Do you ever find that? Like, different places bring out different things in you?
Yeah, because you kind of blend into your surroundings. And you're very empathetic, too. So it's like you feel the energy of a place and you absorb that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a go-between of like, your soul is the same wherever you go and bringing out what's you, but then, especially as an artist, like we're both very artistic, obviously, and you kind of, you take from your environment at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm completely different, not like as Jen, who Jen is, but like New York and LA, it's like streets apart for me. I mean, New York is a great city, don't get me wrong, but it just, it's too much for me. Like, I come from a small village, and I like energy, and I like hustle and bustle, so the highs and lows of New York were great, you know, because I do like extremes.
You love extremes.
I know. Thanks for emphasizing that there. But
just
LA,
go.
Yeah. It's the ADD thing. But LA is just so good for my like nervous system, and like I love to drive. I would go on drives for hours by myself.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
And so I never had a car in New York, and that was one thing whenever I used to go back to Ireland, because I used to go back to Ireland like when I lived in New York. Sometimes I'd take like 3 months to go back to Ireland, like I just needed to reset. And New York was kind of claustrophobic for me, but I would just get in my mom's car and I would just go driving for hours. She'd be like, "Where have you been?" I would like, "Just leave me alone in the car." So LA suits me so much in that respect. Even the traffic doesn't bother me here.
Yeah.
And the sun, like the New York winters, So definitely way happier in LA for sure. It's more my scene, my speed.
Yeah. But remember the first time you came to LA?
Yeah.
So I was actually in LA first, and I pretty much convinced you to come. I was like, I need you here.
Yeah.
And we had lived together in Miami before that, and then you came, and what happened?
It was horrendous. What happened was I came up barely any money as, you know, an artist. It's been like that many times before in my life, and I feel like we were both, like, we were in this little, I remember we were in this little place right at the bottom of Runyon Canyon.
Oh my
right?
God, that place was crazy.
But it was, the balcony of it was so cute, I remember that, but it was so dark. Do you remember?
It's so
got
crazy.
So dark.
We're renting off that, was he Italian or whatever, that guy? And he gave us his place like a sublet for a certain amount of time, and it was the only place we could get at the time for some reason. I can't remember why things were crazy. I think I just moved back as well.
You came back from Miami.
Yeah, and like we had some crazy memories in that place, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I did love waking up and going walking and running every day.
Yeah.
But I just couldn't really. I couldn't get a car. I couldn't get a job. Do you know when things just aren't flowing?
Mm-hmm.
And I was getting so much anxiety, and I was like, I don't know how I can survive here. And then I was like, Hannah, should we get another lease somewhere? And you were like, I don't even want to think about that right now. And I was like, oh my God, I can't do this. I can't do this. So I went running back to New York.
Just like, I'm out.
Peace out. It was like, what, 3-4 weeks or something?
I was so sad. Oh my God.
I know.
Yeah, I was so sad. I was like, no, we can make it work.
I mean, it was heartbreaking because we had so many great, we're going to do this together, we're going to do this together. But I think at that time, like, I went back to New York and immediately I had a job in a bar. And, like, I'd been, you know, traipsing. I just didn't have any connections in LA at that point. Like, I had no one really that could help. Like, you know, there's not as much of an Irish community out here as there is in New York. So I knew New York so well, I knew I could just go back and just get some money straight away and, you know, get going and settle back into, like, some music circles and stuff. It was just more comfortable. I just wasn't ready at that time, I think, for like a big jump because there's such extreme differences between them.
Totally.
Yeah.
But I mean, you came back again. Yeah.
Yeah, because in that year I went back, and then
was I here when you came back?
You were the reason I came back.
Oh.
So I started chanting in New York. With like, and that just was so good, like Namyo Horengekyo, like for my brain, it just calmed me down.
Buddhism,
yeah, because I'm not good at sitting there meditating. I can't. I think my ADD got worse over the years, which is not great to admit. But
you have ADD.
I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I'm telling this girl she has ADD or an ADD type brain, whatever that is, for years because I have ADD. I'm like, I think you have it too, and she's like, no. She's like, no, definitely not. I'm like, okay.
It's so funny. Even the last guy I dated was like, are you okay? And my body's like, you do not sit still. Like, I was like annoying him. I was like, oh God. Which I never knew growing up, and I think I had it my whole life. Obviously, I did.
But can we also talk about the fact that ADD is probably just a made-up label to explain people who are creative and don't want to fit into society?
Yeah. You probably, well, yeah, but I think you know a little bit more about it than me. Like, I'm kind of aware of what it is, but I've never, like, researched it or really looked at it like that. I'm just very aware that I can't sit still, and like if I'm in the house by myself for too long with no noise or nothing to be doing with my hands or nothing to stimulate me, I want to jump out the window. And that's not normal. I forgot. I thought everyone felt like that.
Yeah, but sometimes I think that it's just because we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing like full time. Like if you're artistic or creative, entrepreneurial, whatever it is, like I've come to terms with the fact that I need to be doing that probably 80% of my time. Yeah. And if I'm not, that's when I have ADD. It's kind of crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, but do you not think that there should be ways to find peace within you without always having to be creative?
I do, also. We had this conversation the other day.
But you don't.
I was like, I think I figured it out. I think that's why I'm not calm, because I need to be creating all the time, because creating is like breathing to me. And it is, but yeah, we do have to also find the peace within us. Yeah. Yeah. Which I've gotten a lot better at, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you're able to meditate.
Sometimes. Yeah. Sensual yoga has become my meditation now. Yeah. And it is like that. It is like meditation because you're in a meditative state. Yeah. But you're flowing and moving.
Yeah, sometimes I wonder that too. I really want to try that with you actually, but sometimes I think even just making a puzzle is meditating.
Yeah, I agree. Anything that's focusing your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Where does that come in terms of ADD then? So if an ADD person is making a puzzle, they're okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Talk to an expert.
Yeah.
And not just make up things.
Yeah.
Yeah, an expert might be good for that.
Yeah. But do you think the world is not set up for like artists? And do you think,
100%.
and how do you feel about that? Like, do you think that's gonna change? Like, you know, the way even like more platforms are coming out that help creatives monetize and make money, and how the music industry is, and like.
I mean, I can only speak from my own experience, and I think just like, I've always had a problem with school. And the way people are taught in school, and I've always said this to my mom.
Same.
And I was always, even in primary school, I mean, I've always had ADD, and actually my sister and we were talking about this the other day, and she was telling me that, you know, ADD shows up different in boys and girls. So like, I knew the label of ADD when I was young because all the bold boys in the class had ADD, and they were bold. And I would be sitting there just like such a headache in my brain and not able to focus and all that, but I probably had it too, but I just wasn't, my behavior wasn't out of line. Because I knew how to be well behaved from, you know, the way my parents brought me up. But that's not even fair, because I think those boys had great parents too. It's just shows up different.
But that even shows how much they tell little girls to be good girls.
Yeah.
You know, that's like beat into us from a young age. But I wasn't a good girl, I don't think, anyway.
Yeah. But I mean, I think that depends on the way you're brought up, because I know, just speaking from me and my family, like me and my brother were brought up the exact same. Like, he was told be a good boy the same way I was taught be a good girl. We weren't brought up as like, which is why I think I fit in so well, even hanging around with guys and stuff so much. Like, I feel like me and my brother, my sisters might have grown up different because they were 10 years ahead of us, but it was the same for us both. Like, it wasn't like Robbie's a boy, Jenny's a girl. It was just like, be good kids. We were just raised as kids more so than the boy and the girl thing. So I've always struggled with that. But outside of my family, I see that for sure.
I guess I grew up with 4 sisters and no brothers, so I actually don't know.
Yeah, no, seriously, it makes a difference, like, for sure.